Hey everyone, Ben here, and for today's natural curiosity piece, I want to introduce you to this paperbark tree. Now for Aboriginal people, this is like the ultimate general store. You get medical supplies from here, building supplies, things to help you cook. There's lots of stuff in this tree, and a lot of it has to do with this bark. So on really big trees, this bark, you can get it off in sheets up to 3 and 4 meters. So big stuff. You can use that for shelters, you can use it to make rafts with, and you can also wrap your food in it. So if you're using it for a shelter, you can use it to get yourself out of the really big downpours in the wet season, and also to keep the sun off, which is really important. When they're cooking food, they would wrap up things like damper or their fish. They would wrap it up in this bark, and then they would put it in the ground and cover it in coals, and they could cook it that way, and it would stop it burning. And it would also actually steam them in their own juice. So very, very special way of cooking them. For old people and for children, some of the rivers and creeks around here, particularly in the wet season, the water comes right up. They might be a bit hard to cross, so they could build rafts out of the bark from this. And they would use the bark as the top part of your raft. The timber that would float, they take them from pandanus. The pandanus trunks, they floated really well, and they tie it all up with the stringy bark off a currajong tree. They'd bind it all together, lash it together, put your old people and your young kids on that, and then they'd push them across swimming behind, and that would help them cross big waterways. The leaves on these things, you get the young shoots, the young leaves, and they were really good, again, for influenza, for flu. They'd steam those just like we use for your Vicks vapor rub, similar kind of thing. And also with flavouring their foods, their barramundi that they would catch, their long-necked tortoises that were really popular, they would put those leaves inside the body cavity of those animals, those creatures, and when they're cooking, inside them it would give a really, really beautiful flavour that would go through the whole thing. And one other thing about these trees that was really important is when it gets really dry here and there's no water around, all the creeks have dried up, you get these big growths on the side of the tree. They could cut into those growths and they'd extract water from that in really dry times, and that was really special water. But what an incredible tree this is. It's like your general store, everything you need is right here, and this is a paperbark tree.